Hello and welcome to the iRacing Fantasy National Series. We're here tonight live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, right here in Las Vegas. The Las Vegas 100 presented by Rapid Fired Pizza. And this is the final race of the regular season, so drivers trying to make that playoff grid and make their way into the playoffs. And they're still working around in practice here, but that is coming to a close. And we're going to talk through our kind of playoff scenario here for a lot of these drivers as they come into tonight's race. You can see right here Carl Dodson sitting on top of the standings here in the playoff grid with 14 playoff points, and he is locked in. Every driver you see in green on the screen is locked into the playoffs tonight. Drivers fighting to get in are going to be 10th on back, and every driver who's driving full time in this series actually has a shot to make it into the playoffs with a win and scoring enough points. So it should be interesting here tonight. But if we don't get a new driver, a new winner here tonight, it's going to be one of these four most likely beneath the cutoff line that will have to try and find their way in, and the rest of the drivers should be pretty well set. But we have a tie coming in for that 12th and 13th position. Robert Elmy with the tiebreaker as he has the better finish, or best finish on the season, I should say. Elmy with a third place finish earlier in the year, and Beeman comes in with a fourth place finish being his best. And so very close there, but Elmy wins the tiebreaker. And Zach York is sitting there in 14th coming into tonight's race and looking like he has a shot to get into the grid here, 10 points out. And he had a good race going last week, but actually changed lanes on a restart, which set him further back, and he was not able to get the finish that he was maybe hoping for. So some drivers to keep an eye on for sure coming into this. And Chad Genningsman, who ran so well last week at Indianapolis, he is on the outside looking in as well. So we'll have to see what he can do to get a good finish here tonight. But that's the status of the playoff grid as we come into tonight's race. But just taking a look at the track right now, we do have lap times coming in for the qualifying session. And right now, Matthew Beeman and that number 88 machine sitting on top of the ticker. So we're taking a look at Barry Stevens. His lap comes in. He is 9th on the boards with a 30.922. That's about 7/10. What's showing is 7/10 on my screen off of the pole time. I think these times are a little bit mixed up over there. Dylan Canova now taking over that top spot in the number 39 machine. So great lap there by Dylan. He puts down a 30.136. Chris James up into second now. He's already off the track, done with his lap, only 0.06 slower, so very close lap there as well. Let's see if anybody else. Genningsman in that number 16 machine, I was watching him in practice, and you can see just how loose that race car is as he hits the wall here in qualifying. Gonna have to try and go out for another lap as he gets slowed down and parks it against the pit wall there. Tracy Powers out right now on their lap in the 98 Mobil 1 machine. And we saw Genningsman get very loose, and I think that's going to be the case for a lot of these drivers. 117-degree track temperature here tonight with a 90-degree air temp, and that should drop a little bit as the race goes on, but in practice it was 123 degrees, and these drivers were really struggling to keep the cars underneath them and in control. So we see Cody Jordan comes across the line here. This is going to be his hot lap now. Still has plenty of time in the session to get a fast lap in. Samuel Williams also making his way back out on track in the number 5 machine. We're actually just wrapping up his lap in that number 4 Menards machine. But Jordan coming out of turn 4 here. Going to try and put a good lap down in that Toyota Supra. And Cody Jordan shuts the engine off. He's going to be 13th on the grid here tonight. Nobody else out on track except for Tab Herbert waiting to get moving. Looks like he's probably not going to roll. And Cody Jordan going to be our last qualifier of anyone out here tonight at Las Vegas. But Dylan Canova is sitting on the pole for the moment. And while we've got a second here, we want to give a shout out to our secondary sponsor on the series. That is Shorba's iRacing Paints. If you are looking for a beautiful new paint scheme for your race car here in iRacing, head over to Shorba's iRacing Paints on Facebook, and Jacob can get you hooked up with a very affordable paint scheme. And you can see from the photos that we've got here up on the screen that he makes some great high quality paint schemes, and they match often the real cars on the racetrack. So head over there and talk to Jacob and he'll get you set up. But for now, it looks like the grid is set and we've got drivers starting to make their way onto the track, and we'll go through our starting grid here tonight at Las Vegas here for the final race of the regular season for the iRacing Fantasy National Series. Dylan Canova takes the pole in the number 39 machine, so congratulations to Dylan on that great lap. 30.136. Chris James comes in with 2 wins on the season, and he's looking for another one to potentially vault him to that number 1 seed in the playoffs. But he comes in as your points leader with 464 points and pretty much going to lock up the regular season championship. So Chris James looking for more and in a good starting position here on the front row. Matthew Beeman right now on the outside looking in on the playoff picture. He is going to roll off in 3rd here tonight. Darren Clement going to be rolling off in 4th position. See if I can get these guys up on the screen. On row number 3, we've got Greg Klein, Tracy Powers as well. Going to be rolling off here in that 6th position. And Roger Gregory going to be starting in 7th. Cole Early going to be rolling off in 8th. A couple drivers locked into the playoffs here. Tyler White starting in 9th. And Jay Queen also locked into the playoffs. Going to roll off in that top 10 position. Jim Walton starting 11th. Grayson Sullivan in 12th. 13th is Cody Jordan. Evan Longacre, who's locked in 14th. Hilton Young in 15th. Barry Stevens going to roll off 16th. Aaron Seiner 17th. Samuel Williams 18th. Zach York, who's on the outside looking in, going to be starting all the way back in 19th. Not a great lap time for Zach here tonight, but he's going to try and find his way towards the front. Cole Williams going to round out your top 20 on the starting grid. Tater Bowman in that number 8 Junior Motorsports machine, going to be rolling off 21st. Jonathan Hernandez 22nd on his outside. Chad Ginningsman going to be rolling off 23rd, and Charles Hager 24th. Dakota Jorgensen, who is looking for his first victory of the season in that number 9 machine, going to be rolling off in 25th here. Beautiful paint scheme on that race car. Matthew Johnson rolling off in 26th. Tab Hebert going to be rolling off in 27th. Rick Webb 28th. Joshua Schofield 29th. Roy Atchison can round out your top 30, and Luis Lopez rounds out the field in 31st position. So going to be a good race here at this 1.5 mile track here at Las Vegas. And who's going to get lucky and win the race here tonight? So comment down below in chat who you think is going to win or your favorite driver so we can keep an eye on them throughout the event and see how they do here for tonight's race. But Dylan Canova going to be the one with control here on the first start of the race. That 39 machine so fast in practice and qualifying, and he's got a hard charger and top competitor here, Chris James, to his outside. So pace car makes its way out of turn 4, now ducks down to pit road. 39 of Canova holding them down and waiting for that green flag, and green flag's out. 39 with a good jump, the one pretty solid start as well. But we are underway here for the iRacing Fantasy National Series at Las Vegas for 100 laps, sponsored by Rapid Fired Pizza. And good job by these drivers to make it through turns 1 and 2, and nobody out of control just yet. Here comes Chris James already down to the inside to try and take a look at the leader of Dylan Canova, but not able to do it. Chris James going to settle into second and have to try and put a charge on at some point here in the next couple laps, but he's got Matthew Beeman all over his outside, but Beeman into the wall. He loses control up into the field. We've got a car on its roof flipping and turning and tumbling as he gets sent once again. That's the number 12 machine flying through the air. And Matthew Beeman in trouble early in that number 88 machine. So quick in qualifying, but a mistake here. And he's on the outside looking in, bringing out the caution of the night. Let's go back and see what happens. The 88 of Beeman. So we're coming out of the trioval here and then up into the 12. Wow, that's a massive impact for Greg Klein, who ends up on his roof tumbling and gets T-boned, sent into the air, and ultimately lands on the roof. But that race car definitely done for the night. And Matthew Beeman gonna have some right front damage. See if we can get another view from the a higher camera here. The 88 just goes down the track, tries to hold on to it, and the 12 probably helped him get less damage, but that car going to be very hurt. It looks like he's got steering issues as he was trying to get going once again. Rick Webb also caught up in this in that 59 Kingsford machine. Let's see if we can get a view of Rick as he was coming up behind all this. Trying to figure out where to go. Looks like he just kind of got on the brakes a little too hard and just tags the wall a little bit with that race car. Not too bad, but not going to help his chances of getting to victory lane here tonight. We'll see what he can do as he comes down pit road to get some of that damage fixed. We've got a handful of drivers electing to stay out, but pretty much everybody else coming down pit road. Darren Clement going to be scored your leader for the moment. Jim Walton also staying out. Tracy Powers, Evan Longacre, the last of the drivers to stay out here tonight on this first caution. Tab Heber wins the race off pit road. I don't think he actually made it to his box, but Dylan Canova taking 4 comes out here second off of pit road, and he will be 6th in the field at the moment. Cody Jordan in that number 35 machine took 2 tires along with Cole Early in that number 22, and Roger Gregory rounds out the top 10 as they drive right now, but see if anyone comes down. Does not look like it. We're going to bring up our ticker here so you can follow along with your favorite driver throughout the race tonight. We've got comments cheering on Zach York. Zach comes in 10 points outside of the playoff picture. You can see it here. He's 14th, but he's sitting 14th on the racetrack as well. And if he can score some stage points over Matt Beeman and Robert Almy. And I don't actually see Almy in the field here tonight, so it looks like that 12th position is definitely up for grabs. Rick Webb in 11th, currently sitting 24th on track. So, handful of positions available for these drivers to try and take a hold of. So you see a comment cheering on number 66. That is Barry Stevens in that 13th position. That Netflix machine, a good looking race car. But out in front, it's all Darren Clement. He's going to lead him to the restart here. I think we're going to get the 1 to go. Before we do, I'm going to quickly run an ad for Rapid Fire Pizza so you guys can hear a bit more about that title sponsor here in this series. And we'll be right back with the Green Flag Racing action. We are back to the track. Pace car lights are off. The field working their way down the back straightaway at Las Vegas, trying to get us going one more time. So we are working under caution number 1. Darren Clement, Jim Walton, Tracy Powers, and Evan Longacre. Those front 2 rows did stay out on old tires. So it'll be interesting to see how they get going. They only had 1 lap really on those tires, so not going to make too much of a difference, but with the track temps the way they are, it could be interesting. 86 gets them going. No tire spin from those drivers. So good job, and the 86 and 68 teammates here tonight. And working the track position game already is Clement out in front by about a half second. The 68 is starting to reel him back in, though, in the middle of the corner, and Evan Longacre stuck up on that outside next to the 98 of Powers. Chris James trying to find his way back to the front here as the 48 able to clear the 98 on that outside line, and looks like he's going to take that position, and Powers now stuck down on the inside of Chris James. And I think with the track temps the way they are, it's going to be pretty uncomfortable to drive down low, and the high line, I'm thinking, is going to work its way into being dominant here, as it usually does at this racetrack. So we see the 1 get very loose. Chris James able to take that position. Here comes Dylan Canova, your pole sitter, working in the outside. This is to get back in the top 5, and he's going to drive right around the 98. Like he was standing still, and Powers drops back to 6th. Cody Jordan, who took 2 tires here, in 7th position, and now trying to work on that 98 as well. As he gets very loose in the center. You can see the back end wiggling on that race car, and that's going to allow Cole Early, who also took 2, to come to the outside now and battle for that 7th position. 35, you can just see how loose that race car is getting into the corner, and that's a very unsettling feeling. As he settles into line now, Darren Clement still your leader, but Evan Longacre closing in and going by the 68 now on the inside. Working out of turn 2, that 68 machine able to hold the momentum up high. And Longacre sees the 1 looming larger and larger on brand new tires, with the 48 dives into the corner hard, not able to get the run in the center that he was probably hoping for, and they still are side by side. Coming across the start-finish line now to complete lap 10, and Chris James trying to find a way around and really nowhere to go as these 2 are side by side in front of him, but Longacre struggling down low, and that's going to allow the 1 to get to his outside. Very close battling here. Chris James up high, Evan Longacre down low, looking from Dylan Canova behind them. These 2 battling hard right now. This is for the 3rd and 4th positions. Canova and 5th right behind them. See the overhead view, a little battle going on back here. That's Roger Gregory. And the 35 of Cody Jordan, as Jordan slams the wall. The 1 of Chris James down into the wall, taking the 22 of Cole Early with him, and that brings out caution number 2. Chris James, your points leader, just needed a solid run here tonight. And number 1 machine in hot water now. So he brings out caution number 2. Let's go take a look at what happened here. Racing side by side with the 48. He tags the wall, just dragging it along the wall, and finally bounces off, and Cole Early nowhere to go. You can see the 1, the 22 dives down low, but couldn't get far enough away, and gets collected in this. Chris James ultimately with the more damage. The 22 hurt, but can continue on his way. Unfortunate for the driver of that number 1 machine, but he comes in 58 points above 2nd place Carl Dodson, and Carl Dodson did not start here tonight, so he is going to win the regular season championship without a doubt, just because he started this race. Darren Clement making his way down pit road. The whole field follows him. No one's staying out. See 86 now into his box. Stops in the box nicely. No issues for anybody on the screen here. Looks like Roger Gregory in that 38 had to back it up just about 2 feet. Cole early making it into his box, and we see drivers making their way off pit road. Darren Clement going to win that battle. And they have BRR sponsored number 86 Camaro. And let's get a word in with driver of the 86 here tonight. Darren Clement, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Roger.
Well, Darren, you're in the lead right now. You pulled a little strategy there after lap 1, and you're out in front. It looks like you got pretty good speed in that race car, but what are your thoughts early on in this race?
Just drive easy, try to save my equipment, and see where I come up on the final stage of this race.
And you decided to stay out, but the track temps are really hot here tonight. Do you think tire wear is going to be a factor on the longer runs once we get some of those?
Oh, yes, sir.
And do you think moving around the racetrack is going to give you an opportunity to save the tires anymore, or what's your plan kind of getting around this place?
Really just going to try not to abuse the right front as much as others do here. Try to save that turn out grip that I need to stay off turn 4. Seems like that's going to be the one that's going to catch you the most. And just take it easy, run the lines that look like they're coming in, high side, low side, wherever I need to go to keep and maintain my...
10-4 on that. Looks like you got a fast race car, and hopefully you can keep it out front. But before we let you go, to continue on here, one final question. What is your favorite rapid-fired pizza topping?
Pepperoni.
All right, a classic. And good luck out there, Darren. Hopefully we get the chance to talk to you later.
All right, thanks, guys.
That was Darren Clement in that number 86 Brandon-built Camaro. And trying to get him back with his teammate. So Brandon looking pretty good here. That car obviously has some speed starting up inside the top 5. Yeah, he's doing a good job of getting track position when he needs it, staying out there under caution number 1, and led since then. Dylan Canova, though, started on the pole here tonight. He's right behind him now, so Canova very quick all throughout the events leading up to the race, so we'll have to see what he can do here to reclaim that lead. Evan Longacre there on his outside looks to have pretty good speed in that race car as well. And Zach York, a contender here at the edge of the playoff bubble in that number 91. He is up here on the front row for this restart, so putting that car where it needs to be to gain stage points. And stages tonight are going to be at lap 25 and 50, and then we run to the end of the race at lap 100, so not too many to go here in stage number 1. Field making their way out of turn 4. Pace car dives to pit road, and they are waiting on that green flag, and it is out. Darren Clement gets them going. Back underway here at Las Vegas. Clement, a good restart. And Zach York trying to fend off Dylan Canova. They get into each other. Zach York goes around the 91 of Zach York. We were just talking about him being in a good position, but a mistake there on that restart. And he tried to cut down, or maybe the 39 tried to come up, but they come together, and the 91 Luckily, no one hits him. He doesn't hit anything else, but that car gets spun around, and he gets back going once again. Going to lose every ounce of track position that he had. Trying to get a good view of what happened here. The 39, just maybe a little bit of going for the same lane. I'm really not sure. And we want to thank you so much for following here tonight, Alanator Finn. So thank you for following V-Speed here on Twitch. We really appreciate it. If you're enjoying the race tonight, you can subscribe to us here on Twitch and support our channel. And subscriptions are half price for September. It's called Subtember. So subscriptions $2.50 here for the next couple weeks, and it really goes a long way to support the broadcasting that we do on this channel. And you can also use your Amazon Prime account and link that to Twitch Prime, and you get a free subscription wherever you like. And you can consider subscribing here on V-Speed. Of course, V-Speed has been broadcasting this league here on Twitch for the last few weeks. We also broadcast Monday nights for the Ford Entertainment Group iRacing Flea Market Series on YouTube, and you can find race replays from the iRacing Fantasy Series over there. You can also find announcements for broadcasts on Facebook at facebook.com/vspeedsim, where we announce each and every race before we broadcast. So follow us over on those platforms and stay informed on what V-Speed is doing. And also, if you love the racing action here in the iRacing Fantasy National Series, you can get some awesome merch that contributes to the league as well as supports V-Speed. Head over to vspeedsim.com/shop. We've got a snapback cap as well as a t-shirt available that support the league here. And you can also find some awesome V-Speed merch as well. And first 25 to use the code FANTASY5 will save $5 on their purchase of $10 or more. So head on over to vspeedsim.com/shop and check all of that out. And once again, a thank you to Alanator Finn, who's in the chat. Thank you for tuning in here on V-Speed. We really appreciate it. Tonight's race is the iRacing Fantasy National Series regular season finale from Las Vegas. And of course, our sponsors here tonight, Rapid Fire Pizza and Shorba's iRacing Paints. You can head over to facebook.com/Shorba's iRacing Paints and check out Jacob Shorba's page, where he creates awesome iRacing schemes for pretty much any car you could want. I think he specializes in the NASCARs, so he's provided a lot of the paints for the drivers in this series, and that's why you've got so many great looking cars on track right now. But head on over to Shorba's iRacing Paints on Facebook and contact Jacob to get an affordable paint for your race car. Another sponsor we want to give a shout out to is Alpha Ornamental Metals, who is the sponsor of the Cup Series on Saturday nights. But they solve your ornamental metal needs, including steel, aluminum, and iron. Also home of the Streamline Railing, located in Chesterfield, Virginia. You can find those guys at facebook.com/Orpha or Alpha Ornamental Metals and support those guys. It looks like pace car lights are going to be off here, and going to get that one to go signal as the 86 of Darren Clement going to lead the field back to green once again. And it's not even a quarter of a lap on these tires, so shouldn't be any issues with tire spin. But the racetrack is very hot here tonight, and it's going to catch drivers up. But only a handful of laps to go to the end of the stage, and Zach York, who we had just mentioned, was caught up in that last incident. He went from second to 22nd. Down there in that inside line, the number 91 machine. So Zach outside in in the playoff picture and trying to find his way in. Only needs 10 points to get in, or at least to tie the cut line and find his way in. Right now, waiting on that green flag to come back out. Pace car leads the field through turn number 4. And so that was caution number 3, the 86 of Clement, waiting to get him going. Puts the foot on the throttle, and we're back underway here at Las Vegas. Great jump for that number 86, Evan Longacre, already battling with pole sitter Dylan Canova. Canova trying to find his way back to the front. Tyler White now to the inside of Chad Ginnigsman, and Ginnigsman has made his way up from 23rd position up inside the top 5, so doing a good job, but only a handful of laps here to score more stage points and possibly a stage win for these drivers. We see Tater Bowman, who's up from 21st up into that top 10. So we're 3 wide. Dakota Jorgensen looking for his first victory of the season on the outside of Tyler White, and he's going to clear the 93, but still has the 16 to the outside. He really bombs it in there, and 16 able to get back to the throttle up high, but Jorgensen right there on his quarter panel trying to take over that position. Darren Clement now under pressure from pole sitter Dylan Canova. This is the battle for the lead. They've got a couple more laps to go, coming to lap 24, and the stage ends on the end of lap 25. But the 86 holding off Canova, Evan Longacre waiting there, watching to see if anything happens between those two, and Chad Ginnigsman starting to reel them in as well. But here comes Dakota Jorgensen, also Canova down to the inside, making the move out of turn 2. Down into turn 3 they go, side by side. The 39 right up against that white line. The 86 riding a much higher groove. Gets the momentum out of the corner and trying to hold on down the front straightaway. He will lead this lap. But the 39 is there trying to make the move into turn 1. It's going to be tough down low. The 86 up high holds him off. And the 39 now under pressure. Evan Longacre to his outside. So the high line really coming into play here in this final lap of stage number 1. Clement up high, Canova down low. It's going to be Darren Clement winning stage number 1. Across the line they go. See when they throw the caution here, if they do. Maybe not. Still green flag out here. Is the 39 back to the bumper of the 86 as they head across the start-finish line. Now the caution comes out, so I guess it was on the end of lap 26. And Darren Clement wins the stage here, stage number 1 coming to a close, and Clement taking the victory, getting at playoff point and 10 bonus points. Dylan Canova finishes 2nd in the stage, Evan Longacre 3rd, Chad Ginnigsman in 4th, Tyler White in 5th, Dakota Jorgensen 6th, Tater Bowman 7th, Grayson Sullivan 8th, Barry Stevens in 9th, and Tracy Powers in 10th. So those drivers all earning stage points here. And Darren Clement winning the stage. Let's take one more look at our standings here. And I'm going to do a little bit more research into where Darren Clement comes in to the race tonight. I do not see Darren in the point standings here, so possibly making his first start of the season and doing a great job so far as he leads the field down pit road. And a couple drivers electing to stay out. That's Cody Jordan and Jay Queen looking like they're going to stay out here, and maybe a couple others. As the 39 of Dylan Canova struggling to get into his pit box. Finally gets service going on that machine, but the 86 makes his way off pit road. Darren Clement going to win that battle. Evan Longacre going to come out in second here. Chad Ginningsman in third, Dakota Jorgensen fourth, and Tyler White fifth off of pit road. Cody Jordan stays out here. Jay Queen as well. Roy Atchison electing to stay out as well. He's only got 11 laps on his tires, but they're not going to be quite as fresh as brand new Goodyear rubber. See if those drivers make their way onto pit road, and they will. Cody Jordan not even credited for leading a lap, but he makes his way onto pit road. Jay Queen as well. Darren Clement. Looks like he is going to retake the lead here. And we will cut quickly to a side-by-side commercial break, and we'll be right back. We are back. The field now side-by-side, double file, working their way down the back straightaway. Pace car lights are off, so we'll be getting the green flag this time to start stage number 2. And Darren Clement, winner of stage number 1, probably going to have a little bit of pressure taken off of his shoulders with the number 39 of Canova shuffling all the way back to 17th during that pit cycle, after coming into the pit road in second position. So Clement in a very fast race car gets him going here. Green flag back out at Las Vegas. Evan Longacre, not a good job getting through the gears. And that's going to allow the 16 of Ginningsman right up into second. Here comes Dakota Jorgensen down low. I'm going to try and take over third from Longacre, but that 48 not rolling here on this restart. The field trying to get sorted out here coming through turn 2. It's Longacre and Tyler White now side by side. Down in 3 and 4. Tyler White in that 93 machine. doing a good job hooking the white line and right down to the edge of the apron. But I haven't seen many drivers actually using the apron on the front straightaway, which is legal here. The 98 of Tracy Powers right here in 9th position. We see the 01 of Joshua Schofield behind, almost tagging the wall there out of turn 2, and the 91 of Zach York trying to make his way back forward. Currently scored in 13th position, and he's got a few points to go to make it into the playoffs yet. He didn't score any in stage number 1. It's a little bit of contact there, the 68. Let's go back and see how that happened there. The 91 of York, the 68. 91 gets loose once again down low. Up into Jim Walton. So we go back live. Walton gonna lose that spot to Canova. Now battling with Zach York. So drivers who both started closer to the front, battling to make their way back up there. Ginningsman takes the lead. You didn't see how it happened, but the number 16 now out front, and the 16 of Ginningsman running so well last week at Indianapolis. Found his way out in front once again. Does not have to contend with his teammate this week. As Jay Queen currently back in that 20th position. Is not found in the front of the field just yet. Dakota Jorgensen closing in on second place. Darren Clement now. And Evan Longacre right there as well. Is really the top 4 have broken away from Tyler White. So we're going to try and keep an eye on a few drivers who are on the outside looking in. Matthew Beeman in that 88 machine, he's on track still, and he started so close to the front in 3rd. He is 2 laps down in 26th, and he comes in tied for that final position in the points. Rick Webb comes in 11th in the standings, and he is currently 15th on track, looking pretty good to make the playoffs, assuming he finishes roughly around where he's running right now. But a few other drivers. Ginningsman is on the outside looking in. He's 27 points out, so a good run, something he needs here tonight, and if he can win, that will lock him into the playoffs and knock somebody else out. So a lot of these drivers need to grab as many points as possible. Grayson Sullivan also on the bubble, 29 points above the cut line, the number 19 machine. So lots of different scenarios here. It could work out for different drivers. Barry Stevens is a little bit farther down, I believe, in the standings. Let me take a look here. I think he's actually even eligible to make it in. A little bit of a shuffle there. The 91 and the 66, or I'm sorry, the 01 and the 66. So they make contact in 3 and 4. The 66 able to hang on to it, keep it going forward. A little bit of rubbing doors there in 3 and 4. The 91 of Zach York all over these two now as he's making his way back through the field up into 12th position. And if he can basically run here, assuming we don't have a new winner on the season, he would find his way into the playoffs. But Ginningsman trying to make his way in through winning. And it's really setting up the stage for some intense scenarios here later in this race. Darren Clement trying to chase him back down. Evan Longacre has passed Dakota Jorgensen now for 3rd and 4th. Tater Bowman back here leading the second group of cars. Grayson Sullivan in 6th. Tyler White in 7th, battling side by side. And it looks like the 19 going to win that battle. Now Tab Hebert coming up high. He's going to go around Tracy Powers and set his sights on the number 93 in front of him. Making his way down that front straightaway down into turn 1, and using more of a middle groove as we see the 93 of Tyler White down low, but you see how that car washes up the track on exit, and Hebert gets back in the throttle. He's going to take it down low now. Headed down into turns 3 and 4. It doesn't look like he's got quite the grip or turn-in that he would like, but going to be able to make that pass on the 93 and take over that 7th position. But here comes Tyler White back to the inside. And not going to have the position going into turn 1, but going to still use that low line in the 4, riding the higher groove. Going to be able to complete the pass here coming out of turn 2. As Tyler White continues to fall, Chad Kinningsman starting to pull away from Darren Clement now. 0.6 the gap to the 86 as we're closing in on the end of stage number 2. Evan Longacre about a second back from Clement, and then Jorgensen about another second back. Tater Bowman about a 1.5 seconds back from Jorgensen as he is leading this group and done a good job to make his way through the field, starting in 21st. And Barry Stevens now putting pressure on Tyler White as that 93 continues to fall, the 66 down low. And here comes Canova, your pole sitter, down to the inside, and thinks about taking a 3 wide, but going to wait for the 66 and 01 to clear up their battle. As drivers making their way back through the field, it's going to be Zach York and Canova. Both of those drivers right here in 12th and 13th have charged through the field since the last restart. And making up good ground is Canova now to the outside of Barry Stevens and that Netflix machine. And he's going to be able to complete that pass. The 66 really loose down low, and Zach York now to the outside. Had to check up big time because he thought he was going to get hit from the inside, but he's going to complete that pass down the front straightaway. The 68 of Jim Walton also going to head right on by. So the 66 of Stevens really just going to try and make it to the end of this stage, but really struggling as York sideways. I think a little contact with Jim Walton. They both hang on to it, but let's go back and see what happened. 91 outside, the 68 trying to stay off of him. Was able to hold on to it, but here comes the 35 of Cody Jordan, who gets by the 68. Barry Stevens as well as the 01 of Schofield down through the grass. That is Josh Schofield bringing out our caution here. Let's go take a look at what happened. Send that race car around. It was the 01 of Schofield, the 39 of Canova. The 39 just tags him a little bit. 01 bounces off the outside wall. 39 gets back into him and sends him down into the grass. He spins right past the start-finish line on lap number 47. Gets it back going again in that Looney Tunes machine. But that is not going to help Dylan Canova. That 39 machine. He's got a little bit of right front damage. Let's take a look from his in-car cam here. The 01 right in front of him. You can see the checkup, and the 39 really nowhere to go as he off the throttle for most of that. And really nothing that could be done for that race car to make it around there. The field working through 3 and 4 once again, and I have a feeling everybody's going to come down pit road, or mostly everyone is. Chad Ginningsman going to make his way onto the pit lane. It looks like Darren Clement elects to stay out in that 86 machine. And I think this is the end of stage number 2, or it should be. In just a couple laps here, Evan Longacre takes it down pit road as well. I believe Clement really the only one to stay out, so I'm not sure if the end of the stage was at the time of the caution or if it is going to be on lap 50 here. We'll have to get a word from race control to find that out. But Clement has led 32 laps here today. Just recently getting passed by Chad Ginningsman in that number 16 machine, who's led 14 here tonight. Let's see if we can get a Worden with the number 16 driver. Chad Ginningsman, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Adam.
Well, Chad, looks like you got a pretty fast Ford Mustang out there, but how's the car handling for you so far in this first half?
It's a little bit tight, which is a little concerning because the track's probably going to cool down, but I think I made a couple adjustments here that should get it in good shape for the third stage.
Yeah, and the track temp definitely a huge factor, and we talked to Darren Clement about that, so it's kind of surprising that he stayed out, but looks like he'll inherit the lead here. And what's the goal for the second half of the race?
Well, I'm below the cut line because I haven't raced a full season, so for me the goal is to win, or yeah, I guess just to win.
Yeah, you come in here trying to see how many points exactly. It looks like 27 points below the cut line, and you know, I think you definitely earned some great stage points there in stage number 2, so it'll be interesting to see how everything shakes out as we get closer. But yeah, definitely gonna see if it's gonna be interesting to see if you can hold on to that top spot. And how important is clean air out there tonight?
It's really important that short run right before the caution before the stage end, I was really tight behind, I think, the 86 and the 9 or the 48. But once I got to clean air, my car was a lot more loosened up, so I think it's going to be really key to let anybody by me on the first couple laps.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. Clean air, definitely helpful. Maybe not quite as much of a difference maker in these cars as the Cup cars, but definitely doesn't hurt. So we'll see if you can keep it out front. And one final question before we let you go. What is your favorite rapid fire pizza topping?
I always go with pepperoni, black olives, and mushrooms.
There you go. A couple toppings I'm not a huge fan on, but I'll take some pepperoni now and then. So good choice, unique choice as well, and good luck here in the second half of the race.
All right, thanks, Adam. Hopefully talk to you later.
Yes, sir. That was driver number 16, Chad Ginningsman, who is now your leader after Darren Clement pitted from the lead, which is interesting. Maybe didn't know when the stage end was happening and thought he had to stay out to score those stage points. But either way, Ginningsman wins stage number 2. Second place was Darren Clement. Third was Evan Longacre. Fourth was Dakota Jorgensen. Fifth was the number 8 of Tater Bowman, who also finds himself outside the top 20 right now. Sixth was Tab Hebert. Seventh was Tracy Powers. Eighth was the number 19, Grayson Sullivan. Ninth was the 93 machine of Tyler White, and 10th was the 39 of Dylan Canova, caught up in that caution. And Canova finds himself inside the top 10, but pace car is in, and we're about to get back underway. Green flag back in the air. Ginningsman, good restart. As he jumps out in front, Evan Longacre, solid restart as well. He's going to hold on to second place. Tracy Powers powering on the inside of Tyler White. Zach York stuck behind, and he tucks down to the inside now. We'll see what he can do to try and make the pass into turn 3 as he's alongside the 98 now. Good straightaway speed out of that 91 Camaro as the 93 of White way up the track there. Not sure what happened exactly, but maybe a little bit loose through the corner, and that's going to allow Cody Jordan and Barry Stevens right on past. As Ginningsman really pulling away now. Said he was a little bit tight, which is unusual with such high track temperatures, but he is pulling away from Evan Longacre now. 7/10 the gap. Tracy Powers in third, holding on to that spot. Zach York and Dylan Canova battling here for positions in the top 5, and York battling for a position in the playoffs. And he needs to earn as many points as possible. Not earning stage points in either of the stages here, really not going to help his cause. But He's right now in the top 5. Cody Jordan trying to chase him down in that Supra. The 66 of Barry Stevens, another Supra right here inside the top 10. But Tyler White working back to the inside as the 66 tagged the wall just lightly there. Just a little brush with that right rear quarter panel. And now Tyler White down to the inside. A little bit of a wiggle from that race car down low as he's pretty sideways on corner exit, but able to hang on to it and power through, make that pass. And Longacre continuing to stretch out here. Jay Queen, another top driver in the series in a Roush Racing Mustang, right now is making his way forward as well. He was quite a ways back and currently in 14th, but obviously just not quite the speed of his teammate up there to get to the front. Number 60 of Aaron Tyner, another Roush Racing Mustang, currently in 18th. So maybe those cars just a little too tight in traffic, but when they get out to clean air, look pretty good. So I think Jay Queen actually looking on a battle here, the 13 of Hilton Young, who we haven't talked much about, alongside Darren Clement, who's trying to make his way back forward after an interesting pit call strategy to pit one lap later than the rest of the leaders. I don't know if he's trying to stretch it to the end or something along those lines, but it's going to be a long ways to go. So one tank of fuel, basically 75 miles on 18 gallons, which might be asking a little bit too much of these race cars, especially with this heat sliding all around. You're not going to be able to put all your power down efficiently. It's Tyler White trying to make this pass on the 35 of Cody Jordan. Very close coming out of turn 2. But he's carrying that momentum, trying to use the draft off that Wrangler Supra as he powers down low. Has to back way out of the throttle. Able to get that car to rotate down low and at least carry some speed. He's still alongside, but the 35 slips right past. Looking back here, Barry Stevens trying to make a pass on Tab Haber in that number 4, but not able to get to the back bumper just yet. So they're working their way down the back straightaway. Chad Ginningsman already in turn 4 as these drivers making their way into turn 3. Tyler White down low. Not able to make the pass happen this time, but he is working the back bumper of that 35. Gonna regroup here in turns 1 and 2 and put up another charge to try and get up to that 6th position. Zach York in 5th. He's trying to chase down Tracy Powers. It's Tater Bowman back here battling with Jay Queen. This is 14th and 15th. Tater Bowman was up inside the top 10 and must have had an issue with the pit stop. He's all the way back outside the top 10 right now. He goes down low. Looks like that pass is going to be complete. Jay Queen going to run that high line, try and get back to the outside, but it's not going to happen this time as he goes now to the inside. I don't think it's going to work down there, though. Green flag still in the air. I thought I heard cars slowing down. And the 6 really backed out of it, and that's going to allow the 22 of Cole Early to his outside. And probably going to complete the pass here going into turn 1. But Evan Longacre under fire now. Dylan Canova, your pole sitter, trying to chase him back down. We see a car on the wall. That's Jim Walton in that 68 machine, going to tag the 19 as he's very slow in the back straightaway. Gets slammed into Luis Lopez in that 14 machine, and then he's going to get hit as well. The 23 did not slow down. That's Roy Atchison heavily involved, bringing out another caution here. So this all started taking a look at that number 68 machine, and I think he just got loose coming out of turn 2, maybe too tight. And he tags the wall, tries to hang on to it, bounces off, tags the 19, and they both kind of lock it down, but the 68 kind of drifts back up, and the 14, Luis Lopez, just nowhere to go, seemingly. Let's take a look from his in-car camera. So Luis Lopez here in this 14 race car, heavy damage, and that's going to end his night. Coming down the back straightaway, you see the smoke, you see the 68 almost out of nowhere as he was just following another race car through there, and then the 23 of Atchison just did not slow down in time. He sees all the smoke, but hard to see exactly what was happening, and also couldn't really see the 14 stopped there as that orange race car in front of him was trying to make his way around as well. The 19 of Grayson Sullivan involved in this, and Dylan Canova currently sitting at the end of pit road here. We'll see if he can keep his track position. Evan Longacre, I think, going to beat him off of pit road. Grayson Sullivan stays out. And not sure about that. But Evan Longacre winning the battle off of pit road, so good job for that number 48 machine. Let's see if we can get a word in with Evan very quickly. Evan Longacre, this is Adam, the V-Speed booth. You got a copy? And if I remember correctly, Evan actually has trouble hearing us under race conditions, so let's bring up Dylan Canova, the number 39. Dylan Canova, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I sure do.
Well, Dylan, you started on the pole here early and kind of got shuffled back with the track position game, but you found your way now back up inside the top two. What kind of speed do you have left in that race car for the last third of this race?
I'm hoping enough to bring it home. It was tough. Got caught up in that incident with Zach and just kind of played mental games when I went down pit road and kind of psyched myself out and got too far on the right to the pit box and ended up losing pretty much 20 spots on pit road. So I've been trying to make my way back up here as uneventful as I can, but it's been a tough one.
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting race for you, but you find yourself back here, up here with the track position that you need to possibly get it done. How is the race car handling for you out here with this really hot track temperature tonight?
Oh, it's definitely been tricky. It's kind of hard to read. It kind of fires off tight and then kind of gets real loose towards the end of the run. So comes a handful that that one run we had in stage 2 where it ended unfortunately. The car is definitely getting to be a handful, and I think it'll be the same way if this goes green the rest of the way.
And 10-4 on that tire is obviously very important, you know, under these cautions to take those. So the strategy's working back in your favor now. Obviously, you got shuffled back early on, but good luck here on this restart and for the rest of the race. And one question before we let you go. What is your favorite rapid-fired pizza topping?
The only thing I like is pepperoni, so I guess I got to stick with pepperoni.
Yep, that's a classic and definitely a favorite among the drivers here. So good choice and good luck here.
Thank you.
All right, that was Dylan Canova, driver of the number 39. Move him back with his teammates. But Canova started on the pole, and he's going to restart in that second position. We'll see what he can do here tonight. And once again, we want you to comment in chat who you think is going to win tonight's race, and also who you'd like us to keep an eye on in these closing laps. So shout out your favorite driver, and we'll try and take a look. But only a third of the race to go, and right now Evan Longacre, that rapid-fired pizza machine, he is on the point and going to be the control car here on this restart. So Longacre, Canova, and then Powers and York on that second row. The 48 holds him down. Good restart but the 39 timed it pretty well as well, and he's most likely going to just drop down here into second position. The 98 down low on Zach York for third and fourth. Canova really fast in those first two corners. Evan Longacre did not put the power down, or maybe just didn't get back in the throttle soon enough, but that allows Canova to just drive right on past. And now it's a shuffling game going on behind them. The 98 of Power is able to take that third spot. The 35 of Cody Jordan up into fourth, but he's still side by side with Zach York for that fifth position. A little farther back, we see side by side between Tab Heber and Darren Clement. Clement now back inside the top 10 in that 86 machine. He's led so many laps here as we've got a stack up going on the 66 of Barry Stevens. Really off the throttle. The 86 had to back off. And they keep it moving forward, but the 66 with a problem. Barry Stevens up high. Maybe made a bad adjustment on that caution as he's now at the tail end of the top 10. Chad Ginningsman, who we saw up in the front earlier as well with an extremely long pit stop, 23.9, and he's all the way back here in 17th. And he's on the outside looking in the point standings and needs to find his way back towards the front to have a shot at making the playoffs. Joshua Schofield and Grayson Sullivan battling it out back here. This is for 20th and 21st. Sullivan up inside the playoff picture, and Schofield I do not believe has a shot at it right now with where he's running, so I think basically a win and you're in situation. But right at the front, Dylan Canova in that 39 machine is starting to, well, not really starting to pull away actually. The 48 of Longacre is staying right there with him. Dylan Canova trying to get it done here tonight after starting on the pole. He's been all throughout this field. He's led 5 laps now, and Evan Longacre trying to just hang with him. As we've got a caution once again, I think looks like Tater Bowman starting to go around here, able to hold on to that race car, but trying to find what brought that one out. I think possibly the 01. But let's go back and take a look at what happened here. Oh no, it was the 35. So watching Tater Bowman and the 35 of Cody Jordan, 35 coming down the track. 8 starts to drift back up and just gets a little too close there going down into turn 1. 35 of Cody Jordan able to keep it off that outside wall, but man, almost got down into the inside wall. So good job by both of those drivers to avoid any more contact than that, but that was a scary moment, I'm sure, for both of them. Let's see the 8 work his hands here. Almost full 90 to the right a couple times here, able to slow that car down on the apron. Cody Jordan probably experiencing very similar steering sensation there. See if we can get an inside view of what happened here. You can see in the left side mirror there, so that contact sends him around. Jordan able to hang on to it, and then just off throttle down across the racetrack. Luckily nobody got into him, and they continue on their way, but Canova leads him down pit road, and he's going to win the battle off pit road. Looks like Zach York with a good pit stop. Maybe going to come off second. No, looks like third is Tracy Powers coming off in second here. Evan Longacre, not a great stop. That sends him all the way back to that 5th position. Behind Tyler White, Zach York, and Tracy Powers. So he's got a little bit of work to do to get back up to the front. But before we head back to green, we are going to cut quickly to a commercial break, and we'll be right back. And we are back here. Field doubled back up. Pace car lights are off. Let's do a quick recap. We've had 7 cautions here tonight, including the 2 stage cautions, 6 lead changes among the drivers tonight. So pretty competitive at the front. We've seen comers and goers, and we've seen some of the fastest drivers in the field caught up in incidents. Matt Beeman, who came in on the cut line in that 88 machine, has continued to fall more laps down, and he has scored way back here in 24th. So if you're a fan of that number 88, it's looking more and more grim. We'll have to see if some of these quick drivers who find themselves mired mid-pack will be able to make their way forward. Dylan Canova, however, gets them going once again. That 39 machine, great restart. And he is going to jump out in front now, about a half second over Zach York, who takes over second as well. And York needs a great finish, possibly a win to make it into the standings, but back under caution. And that's going to involve the 6 of Jay Queen, it looks like. Heavily involved in this one. A few others. Looks like the 19 of Grayson Sullivan also involved. And Sullivan coming in on the bubble. Possibly the 88 of Beeman caught up once again. Not sure. But let's go back and take a look. So we're going to take a look at Jay Queen, see what happened here as these drivers getting up through the gears. The 35 tries to come down the track, goes back up. And the 6 actually blew an engine and gets rammed into the 42. Heavy contact there. That is Cole Williams. Man, what an impact. As he was trying to make his way through all this and really never even let off the throttle. And just slams into Jay Queen, who must have missed a shift. Let's go to his in-car camera. And either, it doesn't look like he missed a shift. Maybe something else happened, but he wasn't even going through the gears really. Didn't actually end up shifting, so not sure what happened to the number 6 machine. Maybe it was overheating, but his race is done for, and he will be out of this event. The 42 of Cole Williams also on pit road, so he's probably going to have to call it a night as well. Jorgensen in that number 9, who got a small piece of that, I think. Yeah, he's missing the hood on that race car, and the left or right rear a bit damaged as well. So Jorgensen, who comes in locked into the playoffs, just the last driver locked in, is struggling here tonight. Grayson Sullivan comes in 29 points above the cut line. And that number 19 machine, he's most likely going to go at least 1 or 2 laps down here, maybe more if he can't get that car repaired. And Rick Webb, who is also in this race, he comes in 24 points above the cut line. He's currently scored in 15th, and I think Rick, the way he's been running all night, for the most part staying out of trouble, is going to be pretty much a lock into the playoffs. Robert Elmy comes in on the cut line, tied with Matthew Beeman, is definitely out. Matthew Beeman, though, back 5 laps down in 24th position, and he's going to make his way down pit road now to get some more of that damage fixed on the 88 car, but he comes in tied for that cut line position, and so he would provisionally be in, but Zach York, who's up in second, 10 points back, looking like with this type of a run, as long as he finishes at least 10 positions ahead of Beeman, that would make him the last driver in the playoffs. Chad Ginningsman, 27 points out. He currently sits 11th on track and led almost 30 laps here tonight, and he's trying to make his way back forward. Cody Jordan comes in 48 points back, and the number 35 going to need to take the win here, I think, to have any chance to make it in. I think that's really all he can do. And then anybody below him still eligible to make it in. They're all pretty much within reaching distance of the top 20 in points, and if they win, they're in. Dylan Canova really in control of this race at this point, I think. And Zach York been so fast as well tonight, so those are definitely drivers to keep an eye on. And right now we want to once again let you know that you can get your own iRacing Fantasy National Series merch and support the racing action here for the iRacing Fantasy Series. A portion of each sale of either the hat or t-shirt will go straight back into the league here and help fund iRacing activities. The first 25 to use the code Fantasy5 will save $5 on their purchase of $10 or more on the VSpeed shop. So not just on this merchandise, but also on any VSpeed merch you might like. So head on over to vspeedsim.com/shop. Check out what we've got over there and see if there's anything that you like. Of course, tonight's race brought to you by VSpeed. This is the iRacing Fantasy National Series race, regular season finale from Las Vegas. We are live right now on Twitch, and we'll post race replays on YouTube as well, so you can head on over there. If you missed some of the action and want to catch back up on what happened, also you can find us on Facebook, where we announce each and every event that we broadcast beforehand, so head on over there and give us a like or follow. And if you like tonight's race and enjoying the action here in the series, please consider following and or subscribing here on Twitch. It goes a long ways to helping us continue to produce great racing content, as Dylan Canova holding them down, gets them going, and good jump by the 39, and Zach York not able to get quite the jump he needs, but still gonna slot into second, I believe. Evan Longacre really struggling through the gears as he drops all the way to 6th place, down on that low line and under fire from Darren Clement on the high line. The 86 finally making his way back up inside the top 5, and thank you CJ Sky for the follow. Really appreciate that. Thank you for following VSpeed. Is now Tyler White underneath the 98 of Tracy Powers. Evan Longacre still fighting with Darren Clement behind them, so 2 by 2. 2 rows deep, and Zach York trying to chase down the 39, but Canova starting to get away. And then number 39 machine, he is really stretching it out now. Zach York 7/10 back already. Tyler White up high, the 98 down low. Evan Longacre peaks down there, but trying to figure out where to put that race car. Evan right on the back bumper of the 98. Let's take a look up high. Chad Ginningsman coming up behind these drivers. He's now into that 8th position. I don't know what happened to him to set him so far back, but he was leading and actually won stage number 2. But a little bit of a mishap in the strategy, and he is trying to find his way back towards the front, but the battle raging on up here. Evan Longacre on the back bumper of that 98, almost touching the 93, hits the apron. Longacre trying to avoid, gonna tag the wall out of turn 2. The 48 with right side damage now, and that slows him down, and that's probably more what he's concerned about. Barry Stevens now approaching from behind the 38 as well. Roger Gregory really a great run through turn 4. And he's going to try the crossover, get past the 66. So Roger Gregory, who comes in also locked into the playoffs with a win, finds himself inside the top 10 now and able to get past Barry Stevens, who drops quite a ways back. That 66 just not where he wants it to be tonight. Pretty good on those first couple laps, but starting to fade afterwards. It's Dylan Canova still about 7/10 out in front. Zach York trying to hang on and just be within striking distance. With less than 20 to go, you've really just got to be there. And Justin DeReich in the chat He's going VR mode tomorrow, and the iRace VR as well. It's a lot of fun and just incredibly immersive. You almost forget where you are in the real world. But Tyler White up high here, under pressure. Tab Hebert down low. Evan Longacre trying to recover after tagging the wall there. He's going to go to the low side, the 93 up high, and Longacre trying to put that power back down, but not able to. Out of the corner, and the 93 carrying that momentum. And a ways back, let's see what's going on back here. Dakota Jorgensen with no hood. He is in 16th position in the battle between the 13 and we see the 4 there. I think that's actually supposed to be the 5 of Samuel Williams, who's currently in 18th position and now under fire from Rick Webb, who's lost a few spots in that 59. If he's not careful, he might be close to that cut line. He really just needs the top 15 finish if he can get it, and currently in 19th. But Dylan Canova just driving away. You can see that gap has increased tremendously. Darren Clement, though, the 86 machine who's led quite a bit of this race, now taking over second from Zach York. The 86 a little bit tight out of the corner there. And York now under fire from Tracy Powers. This is for 3rd place. The 98 mobile throwback scheme starting to close in now. The 91 of Zach York doing what he can to hold on to every spot he can. His caution back out. Looks like maybe the 35 of Cody Jordan, who was 48 points below the cut line. He is involved in this one. Let's go back and see what happened to bring out this caution. And it looks like a little contact between the 35 and the 9. The 35 just maybe cut down. Let's see if we can get another view here. 31 goes to make, or 35 goes to make his turn down into the corner. Ended up hitting the outside wall pretty good after contact with Dakota Jorgensen, and then the 59 of Rick Webb caught up in this. The 35 came down track. 59, really nothing he can do about that. As you'd expect the 35 to almost stay up there, but that was not the case. Cody Jordan went for the spin cycle afterwards. And back underway here now, but no back bumper on that race car, and he's in a must-win scenario, and it's not looking like it's going to happen here tonight for Cody Jordan. So close to the finish and running up towards the top 10 earlier in this race. Looks like he had possibly a shot at it. And Dylan Canova going to lead the field down pit road now. We'll see if anyone decides to take 2 or try any kind of strategy here. Samuel Williams in that Menards machine. Should be the number 5 on that race car, but he is staying out for the moment. Zach York taking 2. And this could be an interesting call, because if that race car loosens up any more than it has throughout this race, you know, with the 2 tires, the balance changes completely. If York can't hang on to it, we've still got laps left that he's below the cut line, and this risk, you know, we'll have to see if it pays off, as he was inside the top 5 regardless of what strategy he was going to pull. And Dylan Canova now back 3rd in line, Darren Clement 4th, and Tracy Powers back to 5th. Chad Ginningsman has found his way back up to 6th, and you know, I'd watch out for that number 16. That car is very fast tonight once again, and see if he can find his way back up to the front before this thing's all said and done. Also in a must-win scenario, and 27 points below the cut line. He did win a stage, so that's going to help him get a much, much closer to the playoffs. But yeah, I'm going to see if I can pull up that driver of the number 5, Samuel Williams. See if we can quickly talk to him, see if he's going to be able to hang on to this. Samuel Williams, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Hey, I got a copy.
Well, Samuel, you're out in front here with just a handful of laps left, but you got 20 laps on those tires. You think you can carry any speed with that car compared to these guys on fresh ones?
Yeah, so those last couple of laps, I was really starting to gain on the guys in the back. So I think I may have something left in here for these guys. If not, I mean, I'll try to stay out of their way.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. But, you know, we haven't heard a lot from you throughout this race. You've been running, I think, close to the top 10. But you think the car has been pretty good for you here with the hot temperatures tonight?
Yeah, it's doing pretty good. Like I said, just these restarts have been, I've been trying to work on my restarts a little bit, trying to get those better. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will see for sure. But good luck to you here in these final few laps. And one question before I let you go. What is your favorite rapid-fired pizza topping?
Oh, man, I'm always a meats guy, so I like all the meats on my pizza. So
10-4 on that. That's a great choice. I'm a meat lover myself, so great choice, and good luck here in these closing laps. Hopefully we can talk to you again at the end.
Sir, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. So that was Samuel Williams, who is currently your leader. He's got 20-lap-old tires, though, and he's out in front. We'll see if he can hold on at all. I think he's really going to have difficulty trying to keep up with some of these guys, although he said he was gaining on some of the drivers as that run went on. So started back in 18th position. We'll see if he can hang on here and at least earn himself a top 10, but everybody's going to have to make it past him if they can. And it's always dangerous with the varying strategies in the closing laps of a race to see what happens. Zach York up here on 2 tires, and the only 2-tire taker in this whole field. Everyone else on 4 brand new Goodyears. York, I think, has a better chance of at least maintaining some kind of pace with these drivers, but I think he's going to struggle with it being very loose, with the track temp being 103 degrees and 20-lap-old left sides. It's going to be interesting as Samuel Williams, the control car on this restart, said he's been working on his restart. It's going to try and get him going here. The 5 car does not get going. And Zach York jumps straight out in front. Not sure if there's going to be any kind of penalty assessed, but the 5 of Williams here in the middle now. He's right on the outside of Dylan Canova and hanging on okay for the moment, but he's already lost the lead. Canova to second, the 5. What's showing is the 4 there, that bright orange car. He's up high, and he's going to have some fast race cars going down into turn 3 and 4. You can see just the speed difference there as he tries to back out of the way. But Zach York out in front, he gets loose, able to hang on to it. Dylan Canova had the back bumper full of the 16 of Chad Ginningsman, and I said watch out for that 16. That car is fast as he goes to the inside now, trying to take the lead away. Oh, washing up the track, can't quite get it done. And the top 3 fastest cars have found their way to the front in these closing laps. Samuel Williams still struggling and dropping back to 13th. And I warned Zach York, or warned you guys about Zach York possibly having an issue with the 2 tires as he all the way back in 18th, and he's going to bring it down pit road. And that could cost him a shot at the playoffs. No stage points earned in this race, and he's going to finish way back here. He's right now in 20th position, but going to go a lap down with only 4 to go. As we see Samuel Williams in the wall, able to hang on to it. That 5 car really struggling, but here comes Ginningsman up to the outside. Now this is the battle for the lead, for the win. The 16 of Ginningsman in the control lane, I would say. That high line's just going to get more and more important in these final few laps. The 16 takes the lead. And Dylan Canova dropping to third through that corner. Darren Clement, who's run so well and led so many laps, up into second. And we're coming to 2 to go now. This is really getting intense. It's Ginnigsman out front, who dominated stage number 2. Clement, who dominated stage number 1. And Dylan Canova, the pole sitter, who has charged his way back through this field, but has since lost the lead here in these last couple laps. The 98 of Tracy Powers starting to close in on him, and maybe an adjustment gone wrong for the 39 as Evan Longacre in the wall. Heavy contact between the 4 and the 98. As you see, the 48 is trying to come up, close that gap. The 4 just brushing across the back bumper, and Longacre still in 8th, but the battle on for the lead. This is the last lap. White flag in the air. Presented by iRacing iFlag. The 16 of Ginnigsman up high. The 86 down low as we see Canova into the wall out of turn 2. This is the last set of corners. 16 of Ginnigsman up high. 86 of Clement down low. Can the 86 put the power down? The 16 of Ginnigsman, good momentum, but here comes the 86 across the line. Chad Ginnigsman is going to be your winner here tonight. A great run by that driver. He takes the victory and wins his way into the playoffs. Everything was on the line for Ginnigsman, and he is going to be locked in now. Came in 27 points outside. And that number 16 Roush Racing Mustang did what he had to do, leading a third of this race. And he's going to take the victory in Sin City. So congratulations to Ginnigsman. That car just so quick as he makes a couple victory laps around the racetrack to celebrate this achievement, and probably just ecstatic inside that race car. So tonight's race once again brought to you by Rapid Fire Pizza at Las Vegas, the final race of the regular season to determine the playoff grid, and Ginnigsman wins his way in, coming up clutch in the final 5 laps as he starts to do his burnouts here in just a second. Pulls up to start-finish line so the crowd can see him, but that 16 machine of Ginnigsman takes home the victory today. And just waiting for him to start doing those burnouts, but he's, I'm sure, ecstatic. Darren Clement coming up just a little bit short after running such a good race here tonight. So congratulations again to our winner. We're going to come back with our top 3 finishers after a quick commercial break. And we are back. We're going to be bringing in our winner here tonight. Chad Ginnigsman, winner. This is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Adam.
Well, Chad, you were up in the front there in stage number 2, and then you got mired all the way back close to 20th, I think, and charged your way back up through here, taking the lead with a couple laps to go. Do you think you're going to be able to make it back to the front and be able to challenge for the victory here?
I really didn't. I sped on pit road trying to come up with a last-minute adjustment to loosen it up a little bit. Set me back to 20th, like you mentioned, and then I really didn't think I had a chance until the caution with 8 to go, and then I just taped it up and prayed that it wouldn't blow.
Yeah, we did see another race car blow out there. Obviously, these hot temperatures, playing a factor here tonight. But on one of those restarts, we saw a car blow up, so didn't think that would happen. But obviously, the car was fast. You said you were tight in traffic, but did some of those adjustments that you made help you as you were making your way back through?
I think so. I mostly just put a lot of, you can't really change a whole lot, so I put a lot of air in the right rear tire and it seemed to work.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. You were really hooked up, coming up through the field, and you finally took the lead using that high line. So what was really the dominant way around this place today, especially on the longer runs?
In the long runs, I think the middle was probably the best, but on the short run, you definitely want to be the bottom as long as you're flat out. But I knew when you're on the bottom, you still need no car on your outside to get the run off, or you have to let out so you don't run into them. So that's one thing I want to thank Darren for, because he raced me really clean, didn't slide up into me when I took the outside.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think definitely the outside, if you could get her on the outside of the car and entry, was the better line if you're too wide.
Yep, for sure. It was a heck of a battle between you two, and you both made your way around Dylan Canova with, I think it was about 3.5 laps to go, and he was on the inside, you were on the high line, and I was surprised he was even able to stay with you. But obviously, very, very evenly matched race cars, and ultimately you come out in front. But what kind of a momentum does this, obviously, winning your way into the playoffs has got to be incredibly exciting. And, we go to the first race of the playoffs at Richmond, so what kind of momentum does that give you going in there?
Going into Richmond, probably a good thing to be running good, but short tracks aren't really my thing, so we'll see how that goes. But I think it's great to put me and Jay in victory in the last 2 weeks, and I think we'll bring some speed the next few weeks.
Yeah, you ran incredibly well at Indy last week. Just didn't quite get the finish, I think, that you hoped for, but I think you still came away with the top 5, so definitely got some speed in those Roush Racing machines, and it's been exciting to watch you guys run up front for these last couple weeks. So before we let you go to celebrate tonight's victory, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Really, I think just Jay and Aaron on Roush Runway, just for always practicing, keeping up with information. I didn't share too much setup stuff with them just because I didn't want to give them anything they could use to beat me. But once we get back to where I'm not in a must-win situation, we'll start working on setups a lot better. So I just want to thank them for helping me out, and thank Darren and Dylan for racing clean.
Yes, sir. Well, obviously it makes a team to, or it takes a team to make it happen. So you guys are doing a great job out there, and we'll look forward to seeing if you can continue this streak of hot runs as we start the playoffs next week. So congratulations, go celebrate, and we'll catch up with you later.
Thanks, Adam.
So that was your winner here tonight, Chad Ginnigsman. We're going to have to go to second place finisher. That was Chris James, or I'm sorry, not Chris James. He did not finish up there with these guys. Darren Clement finishes in second place. So let's see if we can pull in Darren here. Darren Clement, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Adam, how's it going?
Well, pretty good. I'm sure you're pretty happy yourself, but not quite the victory you wanted. But you charged back through this field, and that was a heck of a battle at the end between you guys.
Oh, yeah, definitely happy with the car. Definitely put myself in a bad predicament at the end of stage 2. I didn't go in when everybody else did, so I was like, oh, all right, and had to battle my way back up through there.
Yeah, and obviously the car was quick and pretty evenly matched with those top drivers, as you really fought side by side with Chad in those last 2 laps, especially coming to the finish there. You were side by side the whole lap. That was incredibly exciting. But did you make any adjustments throughout the race that helped you make your way back up there, or kind of just kept it how it was and foot to the floor.
Only thing I needed to do on the pit stop was I had to take some tape off. I was getting hot in the earlier on, so being marred back in traffic, I did take some tape off so I could get through easy, not blow up the car, and it just came to me to.
Yeah, obviously the temperatures here were, a big factor. We heard Chad say that he put a lot of tape on the last stop, and we saw a car actually blow up on one of the restarts. So, I think all factors based on the temperature here tonight. And, you had one of the fastest cars on the long run, but what did it take to, get around this place today without burning your stuff up?
Just patience, definitely patience getting back on throttle. You had to, drive it in pretty deep, kind of roll through the center of the turn and get back on it fairly late. Full throttle once you got on the straight, you didn't burn up the right front so bad.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. This track it's an interesting track because there's so many different lines you can run, and we saw you work, I think, pretty much every angle you could here to make it past people, and obviously the car was handling well to be able to do so, and you come away with the second. Next week we're headed to Richmond, so totally different, but what are your thoughts on headed out there?
Well, Adam, funny thing is I'm just subbing in for a driver tonight, and hopefully the owner's happy with choosing me to sit in his car. He had a great ride, and I'm glad to bring home a second place finish.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the standings here. It looks like I don't know how many other starts have you made in this car this season, or like any car this season. Is this your first start in this series?
Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect. Well, definitely a great run for you here. We've seen a few drivers make substitutions in the last handful of races and really outperform some of the regulars here. So obviously a great run for you, and a very solid second place. You led a lot of laps, and it's gonna be interesting to see where it goes from here for you. So anybody you want to give a shout out to though for the second place?
Yeah, I'd like to give a good thanks to my buddy Jim Walton, who got I was underneath him. He got tangled up in the wall, I guess, but definitely thanks to him to helping me get the car under control before the race. It was a little bit loose. Made some adjustments in practice, and definitely thanks to Jim, and also for his heads up on a lot of the stuff going on around track. So when I did get marred back there, I was able to get back up through.
Awesome, Darren. Well, it was exciting to watch you battle and make your way back to the front. So hopefully we see you again in this race car or in one of these cars out here, and see if you can challenge for another win. But congratulations, go celebrate, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thanks, Adam.
That was second place finisher Darren Clement. Third place tonight, Dylan Canova. Dylan Canova, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, gotcha.
Well, Dylan, maybe not the win that you wanted, but after getting stuck so far back in the field earlier on, you make your way back up. You lead laps, and just didn't quite have it there for those last couple laps. But do you think you could have done anything differently to hold on to it?
I don't know. That was tough. When we took that damage early in the race, I didn't really think it had done much until we got out front. And once we got out front of that run, I could tell it just wasn't the same car on its own. I maybe could have threw some more tape on the grill and hoped it made it, but I kind of got unlucky on that restart with the 5 staying out on old tires, and then Zach spinning. I don't know if I could have done anything to hold off Chad. Chad was moving there at the end. He had a clean race car, and I should have stayed high.
Yeah, the high line looked like that was the place to be to make a pass tonight, and especially with laps on the tires, you probably didn't have the grip that you needed, but you definitely did have right front damage, so that probably played a factor. So anyways, you come away with a third place run. You lead almost 30 laps here tonight after starting on the pole, and I think you led the first 2. It took you forever to get back through, but you finally did, and it was exciting to watch you battle. But was there anything you had to do, to just stay safe while you were making your way through the field here tonight?
I think the biggest thing was on the long run watching guys with tires that were getting old, and even yourself, that car step out on you, especially down there on 1 and 2, and you hit those bumps on the bottom 1 and 2. If you're not ready for them, the car just kind of yank sideways. So cutting underneath some guys was kind of tricky. And then once you got under them, you basically had to clear them on entry, because if you weren't cleared by entry, there was no way you were going to hold it on the bottom.
Yeah, that was definitely what we saw throughout the race. And a lot of guys self spins or getting real loose, or some people just hitting the wall, from getting tight. So all different kinds of conditions, and I think really related to the heat on the track today. It was over 100 degrees for I think the entire race. So how much of a factor did that play in like decision making for adjustments or things like that as the race went on?
It definitely played into account. I think I got a little bit behind there on that last restart. I didn't expect the track temps to drop as significantly they did there at the end of the race, and I was worried because coming through the field, the oil temps were getting a little warm, and so I took a little bit of tape off, and I probably should have went back the other way since there were so few laps. But you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, and you still came away with a nice solid run, and we're headed to Richmond next week. So what are your thoughts on heading out there?
I'm pretty excited. I pretty much, for the most part, run nothing but super late models and tour modifieds around short tracks, so it'll be kind of like being at home, and I think we should have a good shot at putting in victory lane there and trying to make the playoffs with that. That must-win situation becomes kind of.
Yeah, so tonight was actually the last race of the regular season, and I didn't see where you were coming into, into tonight's race in points in this series, but I don't know if you were in contention or not. I think it could have been close based on where you finished, so we'll have to go back and take a look. We'll be announcing those tonight, so we'll have to see where you ended up. But a third place finish, definitely goes a long ways to helping you potentially make it in. So we'll definitely let you know here soon. But before we let you go, to celebrate this third place finish, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I got to give out a shout out to all the guys at RSS Racing, Roger, Tyler, Matthew. Spent a lot of time getting this set up to where it was, and I thought we had it, and I was kind of bouncing ideas off of them the whole race, kind of trying to keep myself calm up front, knowing it was that must-win situation, and unfortunately it didn't work out, but can't thank the guys enough for keeping me calm there on those final laps.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. It takes a crew to get it done. It takes teammates, and we heard that from a few of the other guys here tonight. So obviously it played a role in the success that you had here tonight. And third place finish is definitely something to be proud of. So congratulations. Go celebrate, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you.
All right, that was third place finisher Dylan Canova. Once again, winner tonight was Chad Ginnigsman in that number 16 Vice Grip machine. Just a great run by Chad to take the victory, and we're actually going to run through our full race results tonight from Las Vegas. Chad Ginnigsman takes the victory and able to hold off Darren Clement in second place, just 0.05 of a second behind him. Dylan Canova in third, Tracy Powers in fourth, and Tab Hebert finishes in fifth place. Good runs for those drivers. Tyler White finishing in sixth. Barry Stevens finishes seventh. A solid run for that driver who struggled throughout a lot of this event. Evan Longacre catches the wall late and finishes in eighth position. Roger Gregory ninth. Cole Early rounds out your top 10 in the race here at Las Vegas. Tater Bowman going to finish in 11th. Dakota Jorgensen, who was looking for his first victory but is locked in regardless, finishes 12th. Joshua Schofield 13th. Aaron Tyner 14th. Charles Hager 15th. Hilton Young 16th. Cody Jordan, who was on the bubble looking in, he was 48 points coming in. He is going to be most likely eliminated with a 17th place run here tonight. Samuel Williams, who stayed out on the last restart, comes home 18th. Rick Webb 19th. He was also above the cut line, but I think this should be enough to keep him in. Zach York, who came in 10 points below. He was in position to possibly get a top 5 finish out of this, but comes down pit road late after taking 2 tires and not comfortable with that race car. He finishes in 20th, 2 laps down, and that may have eliminated him from playoff contention. We'll have to see in just a little bit. Grayson Sullivan finishing in 21st. Matthew Beeman, who came in tied on the cut line, finishes in 22nd. So it might be possible for Beeman to have made it in. Cole Williams in 23rd. Jay Queen 24th. Jim Walton 25th. Roy Atchison 26th. Luis Lopez, 27th. Chris James, your points leader, coming into tonight's race. I believe he clinches the regular season championship, but finishes 28th here at Las Vegas. So not really the finish he'd like going into the playoffs. But Greg Klein, 29th. Jonathan Hernandez, 30th, and then 31st. And last on the field, Matthew Johnson. So that's going to do it for tonight. Chad Ginnigsman comes away your winner at Las Vegas and wins his way into the playoffs. So we are going to be announcing the standings here in just a minute. So stay tuned. We're going to run a couple commercials. We'll be right back with the playoff grid. Welcome back, everyone. We are going to try and get our graphic up here to show the playoff grid. Give me one moment. We just want to announce this to everyone here. Make sure that we're all aware of who is in and who is out starting next week. Here you go. Here are your standings. Thank you for waiting with us. And this is the playoff grid moving forward here in the iRacing Fantasy National Series. Carl Dodson going to start off in that top spot. Chris James in second. Jay Queen makes it in. Tater Bowman, Evan Longacre, Roger Gregory, Chad Ginningsman with his win tonight, Cole Early, Dakota Jorgensen, Greg Klein, Grayson Sullivan, and Rick Webb all make it in. The drivers that were close, Matthew Beeman was on the cut line. He is out. Zach York, 34 points below the cut line with his finish tonight. So he was not going to make it in. Grayson Sullivan, Robert Almy, who did not start, did not make it in. Cody Jordan also not making it above the cut line here. So that is going to be your grid moving forward here in the iRacing Fantasy National Series. So congratulations to all those drivers on a great run this season. And of course, we want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors here. That's going to be Rapid Fired Pizza, who brought this race to you and this series, as well as Shorba's iRacing Paints. Head over to Shorba's iRacing Paints on Facebook and hit up Jacob with a message, and he can get you connected or hooked up with a great new paint scheme for your race car. So many of the cars in this field use Jacob's paints, so head over there and you can get a very affordable custom paint scheme for your race car. And of course, we want to thank you for tuning in on VSpeed here on Twitch tonight for the iRacing Fantasy National Series. And if you liked the broadcast, please consider following or subscribing. And it really helps us continue to bring you great iRacing content. So you can subscribe this month. It's half price, so please consider doing so. It's a great way to contribute to the iRacing community and support these great races. Also, we post our race replays on YouTube a couple days after their broadcast, so you'll be able to catch the action over there if you weren't able to catch it all tonight. And also over on Facebook, we announce when we are broadcasting each and every broadcast, so head on over there, give us a like and follow so you can stay up to speed with what we're doing here on VSpeed. And also, one final shout out, if you liked the racing here for the iRacing Fantasy National Series, you can get your own merchandise over at vspeedsim.com/shop. A portion of each sale contributes directly into the league, and the first 25 to use code FANTASY5 save $5 on your purchase of $10 or more. You can also use that code on any of the VSpeed merchandise that you see in the shop. We also offer custom trophies. We offer VSpeed merchandise as well as custom design services and the broadcasting services that you saw tonight. So thank you so much to everyone for the follows. I think I actually missed one while we were interviewing. So big shout out to Fred88033 for subscribing or following here tonight. Really appreciate it, and it helps us continue to bring you great racing content each and every week. And tonight's race was from Las Vegas, the regular season finale of the iRacing Fantasy National Series. And we will be back here tomorrow night with the Cup Series, and also next week with the first race of the playoffs for the Cup or for the Xfinity Series. And the Cup Series playoffs start tomorrow, so come back tomorrow night and check out the Alpha Ornamental Metals Las Vegas 201. It's going to be a great race tomorrow night. A lot on the line for those drivers already in the playoffs, and going to be some great racing action. So thank you for tuning in here tonight, and until next time, have a great night.